I think it's one of the great achievements ever in movies, and I think it's the most dense movie Kubrick ever made. I actually think he was exhausted after making it, and that's why Full Metal Jacket I don't think was up to snuff. But
Full Metal Jacket's like half a film, but
he took the framework, which he often did. He took literary works and he kind of emptied them out and put in his own obsessions, but he especially did that with The Shining. He wanted to talk about everything that was horrible in the world, whether it be like genocide or child abuse or oppression. All of that stuff is in there. And what amazes me about The Shining is that it is so open-ended and ambiguous that you can hang whatever metaphor you want on it. And there are people that do this. They have their own theories about it, and they can justify it with every scene in the film, and it works. You can see where they see it. It doesn't mean it's any less ridiculous, but I mean, you can say it's about the Holocaust, and you can look at the number 42. 42 is the year that they planned the extermination of the Jews. You can see the number 42 popping up all the way through the movie, even in multiples, right down to 7 stacks of 7-Up in the kitchen. 6 stacks of 7-Up in the kitchen. 6 times 7 is 42. It goes on and on and on. There's lots of like little subliminal stuff in the movie. There's Danny in the bathroom where he's looking in the mirror and he's talking and he sees that vision that kind of renders him unconscious for a while. Now, as the camera pans from his bedroom into the bathroom, you see on his door, there are stickers on his door. And the most prominent of these stickers is Dopey. And then after he has that vision and the psychiatrist appears above him and they talk a little bit, and then Shelley Duvall walks the psychiatrist out of the bedroom into the living room to talk, you clearly see the door, and Dopey is missing from that door. So you could say that's a major continuity error. Or you can say Danny knows what's going to happen now. He's no longer Dopey. I mean, he's no longer clueless about what's about to happen to his family. Even the continuity errors in the film can mean something. Everything in this movie is so mysterious, but the magic of it is that you can watch it and you can appreciate it exactly as a straightforward horror movie. But if you look closer, a lot of stuff does not make sense. It does not add up. Kubrick takes the meaning and he kind of severs the threads to the meaning of it, and it leaves it completely open-ended. Every time Jack sees an apparition, mirrors are involved. So is he really seeing the demon in himself? There's a scene where he's walking towards the gold ballroom and he passes 4 mirrors in the hallway. And every time he passes a mirror, he has this physical, violent reaction. And it's right on cue when he passes those mirrors. Then he walks into the gold room and sits at the bar. It's an empty bar just with mirrors. He closes his eyes and then he looks up again and there's Lloyd, like the devilish bartender. And it's true. Like every time he sees visions, it's in a mirror, and that's on and on and on. I mean, right to the year of the make of his typewriter that you can plug in meaning to. This is just a great movie, and what's great about it is that no matter what you think it's really about, it says a lot about you, even more about you than it does the film. Whatever you read into it, and so few movies allow you to do the work. Right. You know, most movies do the work for you, and this one doesn't.
Damn. Great analysis, Jamey. No, I'm serious. That really is.
Oh, man,
I mean, I love Kubrick, but The Shining for me has never. I don't know. I love the things that you're talking about. I mean, there are things there that I didn't see, until you mentioned that. But
it's not about what you think it's about, though.
No, I know that. I know that.
As a horror movie, like one that hits the beats and stuff and stays true to the source material, it is a total failure. And that's why
I'm not looking at it as a horror film. I agree that it's a very good film. I don't know. To me, it's just
the story
I don't know how to describe it.
The story of the American Indian, the genocide of the American Indian, that's in there too, right down to where the hotel was built. That's not in the book. Right down to all the motifs. The Indian women, there's like a painting or something on the walls of Indian women, and he's throwing the tennis ball against it, and it's making a sound. And what kind of sound is it making? Almost sounds like the axe hitting the door back and forth, as he's trying to go in and kill his wife. There's a lot about the degradation of women in the movie. There's definite child abuse stuff in the movie. You get a sense that he definitely had sex with Danny. Like, he abused Danny in a very specific way, and there's really sick stuff in the movie, like when he's sitting on Jack Nicholson's lap, and there's a teddy bear and a fire truck in the background, and the ladder of the fire truck is raised to a point where it looks like the teddy bear has an erection. I mean, there's perverted sexual stuff.
Only you would see something like that. Well,
I didn't see it. Somebody else pointed out to me, but it's all the way through the movie.
I know. I know the scene you're talking about, and if you look also carefully in the background, Jake LaMotta is kicking the shit out of Jack Nicholson.
What's he doing? What's he doing in one of the very first scenes in the hotel before he goes in for his interview? He's sitting there on the chair in the waiting room of the Overlook Hotel, and he's reading a Playgirl. Now, first of all, why would a Playgirl be in the hotel lobby? And why would he be reading a Playgirl at a job interview? But there's very specific articles in that Playgirl magazine that speak to the themes of the movie. Like, there's everything. It's like a puzzle. There's a reason why the movie ends in a maze and the book does not, because that's exactly what the movie is. And it's fascinating. You keep unraveling shit about this movie. It does not stop. It's the most amazing movie ever. I'm serious.
Really?
Yes. I've never been so excited about a movie than I am The Shining.
I was about to say. Now, where was this ranked?
Like in a cult.
The cult of The Shining. Jamey, you didn't even laugh at my joke. I mean, you were...
What joke is that?
You missed it. See,
Jake
you were
LaMotta.
so wrapped up.
I
said if you look carefully, Jake LaMotta's beating the shit out of Jack Nicholson in the background.
No, I didn't laugh at that because it wasn't funny. But there's lots of...
It was funny. That's fine. All right. See, I try so hard, and it's all right. No, I do think that's great, Jay. I mean, I love movies like that you can... I mean, because you've listed about, 20 things that I never thought about The Shining. So, I mean, I always love movies like that have these kinds of things in them. That is a fascinating thing. But just to me, The Shining just always left me cold. I just, when I think of the works of Kubrick, I don't put The Shining up there with, 2001, for example.
And then there's the wacky, crazy fucking guy that says it's about how Kubrick faked the moon landing. But he
I know. I've heard about that one.
He finds stuff throughout The Shining to back this up. Like Danny wearing Danny wears the Apollo rocket ship sweater. He stands up. The rockets are lifting off, and he walks to room 237. What significance does 237 hold? Because it's not 237 in the book. 237. 237,000 miles between the Earth and the Moon.
What was that movie Jim Carrey kept saying the number 23 or something?
Yeah.
I'm getting worried about you, Jamey.
And people got onto me for exploring these different theories in my Shining show. They said, you're full of shit, blah, blah, blah. It's not the point, is this right or not right? It's the point where... it's
interesting. I agree with you.
Can you look at any other movie and see those things and apply those theories, no matter how wacky they are, and have it be justified by the actual content of the movie?
Well, I think you'd be amazed what all you could see in Rhinestone, though, Jamey.
See, I'm talking passionately about a Kubrick movie.
I know you are.
And you're joking.
I'm doing my best. I love that stuff, Jamey. I think it's great, really.
You can superimpose. You can play The Shining.
What does Garney think about The Shining? That's what I want to know.
You can play The Shining from beginning to end, and then on a screen right next to it, backwards, from the end to the beginning. And even the overlaid images.
Can I play Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon?
Even they mean something. Like, it's so perfectly timed that like certain shots superimpose upon each other to tell a story. And it meets at the very beginning, or it meets in the middle, where Jack hugs the woman in the bathtub. And even that means something to these people. I mean,
a very traumatic scene, though.
Great.
No, I agree with you, Jamey. Those things are fascinating because I'm always interested, in what did the filmmaker fully intend these kinds of things, which I believe Kubrick probably did, the type of filmmaker he was. But I also like discovering things that the filmmakers didn't even know they were putting into the movie. That just so happened to, be in there.
And he says when he meets Delbert Grady, he's like Delbert Grady. First of all, no one called him by Delbert. Like in the very first scene, they said Charles Grady, and he introduces himself as Delbert. Where does Delbert come from? Is that a middle name or something? Why weren't we clued into that? Who the hell is Delbert Grady? And then he says, I read about you in the papers. And no, he didn't read about him in the papers. He heard about him from the interview in the first scene. He never looked at a paper and saw Delbert Grady. So then there's a continuity error. Does that mean something? There's the use of doubles all the way through the movie. The use of doubles is kind of crucial in the movie, too. Right down to the twins, that's the obvious one.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to watch The Shining again.
Fucking brilliant.
Yes. You do have me intrigued to watch it again and to look for all these things that I was not aware of in the movie. I doubt my opinion will change on the movie much, but Garney, is this a movie you like?
Listen to my show.
I really want to get Garney's opinion.
Even better, watch Room 237, the documentary later this year.
I do want to see that.
When's that coming out?
It's playing at Cannes, and then IFC is releasing it in the summer.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to see that.
So, Garney, what do you think of The Shining?
I don't know if I've even seen it the second time in its entirety. I've seen it once, and I know that it's been on, and I've seen scenes from it. But from the one time that I saw it in its entirety, I thought it was fine. I mean, horror's not really my genre. I think most Kubrick films are a little overly long, but that one was fine. I mean, it was one that I didn't feel one way or another about. I liked Jack Nicholson in it. I liked the imagery. I never felt compelled to revisit it again until this conversation.
The numerology in the movie is amazing. Like, it's all the way through it. I mean, you could just get off on the numerology in the thing.
I can tell you have, Jamey.
Write down. He's wearing a jersey when he's talking into the mirror the first time, and what's on the jersey? 42. What movie are they watching in the hotel? The summer of 42. I mean, it's all the way through the movie. And that is a definite point to the Holocaust.
It's a very good analysis, Jamey.
I think this was Kubrick's Holocaust movie, and he was a Jew that never really touched upon the Holocaust.
I think you might be right. The other thing is we've got 5 minutes and 42 seconds left in the show.
42?
And Kubrick had something to do with that.
All right, I'm done.
We picked 5 movies.
Thank you, sir.